Hey, Corey, how you
Hi,
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How are things going? I haven't heard from you lately.
I know, money's been a little tight, so I actually didn't, I had to renew.
Okay.
So that's why I haven't been on. Plus, I've been
Oh,
sick the last few days. So
okay, but how are we standing as far as the weight goes?
honestly, I couldn't tell you. I haven't been on the scale in days because I've been just really sick.
Okay, so then
So
you know what? You're gonna get over the sickness, whatever. Have you had your flu shot this year?
no, actually, they don't come out to my job until the 29th. So
What?
I still have, I know. And I'm
Bad
wondering if
news.
it is flu or I went to work and they were like removing a lot of mold and stuff.
Uh,
So I'm wondering if like the particles in the air or something
well,
got
whatever.
to
I mean,
me.
the chances are no. Looking at you, I can tell you right now, you don't have the flu. But
Mm.
yeah, you'd be a lot sicker than this. But
Well, no, I have been the last, I had fever and
no,
yeah,
well, I'm not going to diagnose you. I mean, that's
yeah, no,
up to
I
whoever. But
know.
but my
Yeah,
general recommendation is I think everybody should get a flu shot.
I
Particularly,
normally do.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a
Definitely.
smart thing to do, especially in light of Ebola, right? Because
Mm.
I mean, obviously, it's not a big issue in this country yet. But what if there were a huge outbreak in the U.S.
Mm.
and you came down with symptoms of, fever, nausea, vomiting, whatever. I mean, the flu is a coughing virus, granted, but what if you had
Mm.
some of these symptoms? I mean, you wouldn't necessarily be able to know right away whether you're dealing with the flu, you're dealing with something like Ebola, which is really serious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a good idea. That I think everybody should get vaccinated, just to cross that
Yeah, we
one
still
off
have
the
2 weeks
list.
to go. I
What's
plan
that?
on getting it. I still have 2 weeks. I plan on getting
Well,
it on
I
the
still think you
29th.
should get
So
it. Yeah, yeah, that's always my
yeah,
opinion. So
definitely.
anyway, but it's great to have you back. And here's the thing, you sort of get over these little obstacles along the way. But
Mm.
that's that. Keep in mind that we're coming into the holiday season. I mean, now more than ever is the time to prepare for the season, right? This is the time
Yeah.
when you need to stop eating and think about it. If we can just drop off a huge amount of weight, a huge block of weight before the holiday season begins, it gives us the freedom and the luxury and the sort of the lack of guilt to go into the holiday season just really enjoying the flavors and the smells and the odors that are out there, right?
Mhm.
Really,
Yeah.
really loving the holiday season. But we've got to earn it. So what we
Mhm.
want to do right now is just focus on losing weight. Oh, and by the way, because the holiday season is so close, it's right around the corner. Because it's so
Mm.
close, really, there's no need to satisfy the hunger today. You'll be able to eat tomorrow. I mean, it's almost as if tomorrow is the first of the holiday season. I mean, just be willing at this point to delay that gratification a little bit, because you don't have to delay it for that long. I mean, the eating season is right there.
Five
It's within
weeks.
reach. So come
Yeah.
on, for the next few days, few weeks, whatever, we can now more than ever really find a way to just put bites number 6 and on aside, throw them in the trash. This is the best time to lose weight. And it's funny, but I've been doing this for a lot of years, and we sort of see a lull through the summer months a lot of the times. I don't know why. There just is not quite the incentive to lose weight. You would think, well, my gosh, it's beach weather. It's hot outside. When you get hot, yeah, that sort of should be an incentive to lose weight. But for whatever reason, over the years, I've seen that there's a lull through the summer months, and we don't see quite the weight loss that we do, believe it or not, during the holiday season. And I
Mm.
think it's because there is just so much food around, and these are sort of our eating holidays, but we are so aware of it, and we're so aware of the excess food that's around, that those people who really want to lose weight focus more. And as a result, believe it or not, throughout the holiday season, people tend to lose more weight through the holiday season. It's sort of like,
Mm.
I went on a cruise. I don't know if I mentioned it here, but I went on a cruise over the summer. I actually, this last cruise, I didn't gain or lose. The prior cruise that I went on, I actually lost weight. Why? With
Mhm.
so much free food around, because I was so aware of it. That
Mhm.
when you're super, super aware of the excess food, you're more conscious about what you are eating. You're really, you know, placing value on each and every bite, savoring each bite, but you don't eat carelessly because you're just so aware of the excess. And I think as a result, that helps you stay on track and not gain extra weight. So that's, this is a good time to lose weight. So, get over the colds, whatever, but then let's focus and let's really see what we can do starting today. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? All right.
Hmm.
How about the rest of your family? Are they on board?
It's just me.
Well, that makes it easy. But you have all
Yeah.
these kids, but they don't live with you?
No, they're my students, not
Oh,
my
oh,
kids.
what's that?
They're my students, not my kids. I don't have any kids.
Fair enough. So you're all by yourself. This is so
Mm-hmm.
easy. How about like friends?
Um, I do have friends, but I know a lot of them are traveling for the holidays, going out of
How
town.
about
So
like a
yeah, I have no
boyfriend?
excuse.
Boyfriend?
He actually lives in Kentucky.
Where does he live?
So in Kentucky,
How far away is that from where you are?
about a 3-hour plane ride.
That's not too close.
No, it's not. I have the cats. That's
He
about
won't be
it.
saying, let's go out for dinner tonight.
No, actually, when I'm done here, I'm going to bed. So,
You are in the perfect situation to be doing this. I mean, I
uh-huh.
guess for you, probably a lot of it is just eating out of boredom. There's really,
Probably.
there's just not a lot else to do. I mean, throw
Hmm.
on a good movie on the TV, cuddle up on the couch, maybe a warm blanket and a fire, and hell, how
Mm.
about prepare some food and snack along the way? That's what I want to stop. Do all the rest of it for sure, but let's not get the nibbles there. Maybe just
Hmm.
a glass of water, or even better yet, a little cup of coffee. Do you like
Mm.
coffee? I can't remember.
I'm more of a tea person.
Mm.
I prefer tea over coffee. Yeah.
Ooh, I
But
want a bigger. I saw some hands go up. Who is that? Is that Shelly?
Yeah.
yes.
You guys are tea people. I'm okay with it.
Mm.
I guess I'm fine with that. Just give your mouth something to do while you're watching TV, like sip
Hmm.
water. Sipping iced tea is okay with me, or
I've been
black
chewing a lot of gum.
and chew gum,
So,
but
yeah.
just no eating. Let's get
Mhm.
excited about the end result, and let's just get there as fast as we can. I was, reviewing this. There was a study done recently that was published looking at fast weight loss versus slower weight loss for recidivism rate, for weight loss maintenance, because it's always been believed that if we lose weight more slowly, we're more likely to keep it off.
Mhm.
Totally wrong.
Hmm.
Really, there was no big difference in recidivism. If you lose weight really, really fast, or if you lose it slowly, gradually over time, once you finish losing weight, you look at it for another 2 years, the recurrence of weight is equal in the two groups. But
Mm.
those people who lose weight fast get more weight off their body. So
Mm.
there's just no excuses. I'm always looking to try and, dispel the excuses that are holding us back and preventing us from reaching our full potential. One of them is just what I went over. This fear, I guess, that somehow is out there that if you lose weight fast, it's going to somehow bounce right back on your body. It's not the case. So no holding back, no fear. We all know this thing works. The trick is just doing it,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
But hopefully, enough of these studies out there dispelling the myths that are out there, you'll finally just give in and go hardcore and get this thing done. So anyway, I think it's great to have you back. I'm delighted.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yay. Shelly, how are you doing? And by the way, it looks like we have it looks like there's a few other people here, which is great. Thank goodness I'm not talking to just myself tonight. This is fun. I love it. The more of you here, the more fun it'll be. And of course, the better show we'll be able to put on. So that's great. So Shelly, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm kind of stuck in a rut, but I think I know why. I went back and watched the May 19th chat that we had. And yeah,
Is that even alive? That May 19th, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, I was just starting out. I was like, is that really me?
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
But
did that help get you back on track?
I think so. I think what you had said in there was, how people start, you said with my frame that losing like even 20 pounds would make a huge difference and people would notice, and they did. And they're really noticing now, and then they say something. And so I've got in my head that I don't need to lose anymore.
That's exactly right. Got to be really careful about that. This is where I say, you're going from one place. Now you're into what's called the normal range. Now you're back in with just the average person, right? You look great. You feel good. You feel very comfortable, and you're of course thrilled with your results. But it took all that extra compulsion to get the extra bad weight off your body. That's all gone now. So now you're just sort of relaxing. Oh gosh, I don't want you to relax too much. I really want to push through to the end, because here's the thing: you're going to get through this sort of this range where you're in the normal range, come through to the other side, and now it just gets spectacular beyond your imagination. And it gets so spectacular, it in itself is extremely motivating, like nothing else you've done. It's so exciting that once you're there, you're like, oh my gosh, what was I waiting for? I mean, this is what living's all about. It's just breaking through to that point sometimes is kind of hard, especially when you come from where you've been, because there has been a huge improvement from where you've been. Yeah. And you're enjoying that improvement, and you feel it, and you're absorbing all the compliments. It's great, but trust me, it gets so much better yet. So I don't want you to relax too much. Just push on. It gets really, really good. And again, I want those of you 5-biters out there, I want you to be just shining examples of sheer perfection. I mean, each one of you by yourself, there's not many of us here, but each one of you by yourself are going to be so unique and so exceptional in your physiques and in your state of living, in your health and everything. Everyone here can get to that point. But believe me, there won't be many of you around. So it's really neat to get out there and set that example. It'll be good. And it's going to happen. We're just working at it.
I've got a challenge. At first, I had the challenge of trying not to eat at night. And you had mentioned one time that my hunger stat was increased. That's why I was eating at night, and I thought it was because of stress.
Okay.
I know that you were right.
Yeah.
So then I got through that hump where it was just me and my husband, and we fixed separate meals when we came home.
Okay,
and,
good.
We ate what we wanted.
How did that work, by the way, for you?
That was fantastic. I could eat as much as I wanted, and I didn't have to eat the things that I just pigged out on,
Fair enough. That's great. I think it's a great thing to do. Break that routine. Good.
Now my cousin's moved in with us.
Oh.
And she cooks.
Yeah, it's hard.
And she's a very good cook.
And it's good food, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how long are they going to be living with you?
Forever.
That's interesting.
Well, she has no family, and her mom passed away in November.
Okay.
And I really love her. We're close, and got Sjogren's disease.
Okay.
So she's in a lot of pain and with a walker.
Okay.
So she moved in with us.
Okay.
And so now I have to figure out, and I think the answer might be just having her put the food away in the refrigerator.
You could remember this.
It's there.
Remember this. I mean, it's like, as always, even if you go out or whatever, as good of a cook as she is, whatever she happens to be making tonight for dinner, she will make the exact same thing 3 months from now.
Yeah.
But in 3 months from now, when she makes that exact same thing, you get to eat it to your heart's delight without any guilt, and you don't need to be worrying about your weight, because you won't be on this weight loss track at that point. You'll be done with the whole losing your weight. So forgo the extra bites tonight. I mean, sure, taste it. I mean, I just hope she's on board with you and understanding why you're not finishing food. But look, you're going to have an opportunity to eat that whole thing later. Just not now. Forgo it today. Remember, just be willing to delay gratification a little for a future that is absolutely exceptional. What are you waiting for, right?
Yeah. And it was such a habit to eat small and keep losing weight. And it wasn't any challenge at all. And I've gotten into this rut the last few days of not it being more of a challenge to think about it and take my time. And if I eat slow and think about what I'm doing, I eat less.
Do you really? Good.
Yeah. I think that
a lot of people it's harder, but go ahead. For me, it was hard.
Oh, if I eat fast, I eat so much I can't remember how much I ate. I mean,
then I don't know what you're doing. But here's the thing. I mean, this is what I would used to. I mean, the way I used to do it. Maybe for lunch. Let's talk about lunch when I was going to the doctor's lounge. This was like 10 years ago, before I lost all my weight. So I would take a look at the big long spread of pretty good food sometimes. You know, they'd have a little sandwich section. You make your own sandwiches, and they had usually the main entree. It might have been some sort of beef stew or pasta or whatever. And I usually would go through all that. I'd look at the very end. I'd usually like going to the desserts. Like I can distinctly remember picking up an apple pie. That was going to be my lunch for the day. So I would I'd say, okay, nothing here, nothing here. I'd grab the apple pie. I'd grab a fork, grab a napkin. I'd turn around, and the door was probably maybe 25 feet away. Okay, it's what I can get in 25 feet at a good pace. I'm a pretty fast walker. So it was boom, boom, boom. I would usually get in about 2, maybe 3 bites. Right next to the door is a trash can. So however much I could get in before I hit the door, I hit the door. The rest of the apple pie and everything else goes in the trash can. I'm out the door, and I do my hospital rounds. That was my typical lunch. But here's the thing. It was very fast. I didn't have really time to think about it. It might have been 3, 4 bites at most, but it's done. At the moment, it's such a routine. I'm going so hard, so fast, I don't even have a chance to second guess myself or to think, God, I would love another bite. It's just done. In the trash, I'm out the door, and as I'm going up the elevator, I'm thinking, I could have eaten another bite. Oh, it's too late. It's already gone in the trash. By the time I finish, talking, visiting my first patient, I'm writing the note, I'm not even the least bit hungry. That's all long gone.
So you feel full when you do that then? I mean,
not initially, but within a few minutes afterward, yes, absolutely. Totally full. The food is absolutely out of my mind. So
if I take 1 minute between each bite, I fill up a lot faster.
I'm okay with that, but I think it's, well, I don't know. I mean, I've had patients who say, it's, if they just really savor each bite, literally take a minute between each bite, they've had more success. Not very many though. I think that most of my patients do better when they do like what I did. Just here's the food, take 5 quick bites, enjoy them, but just quick.
Okay.
Or you're just getting the job done. You're just getting the food in because it's what you're supposed to do. You're enjoying it, but I don't want you to enjoy it too much, because remember that what I want you to enjoy is losing weight. I want you to enjoy the idea of being thin, being extraordinarily healthy. I want you to really focus on that, not so much the food. There'll be time for enjoying the food down the road in a few months or a few weeks.
What'd you do when you went out to eat?
What's that?
What'd you do when you went out to eat with people? I mean,
same thing. Like here's a great story. I mean, I have this one where we went to a really, really good Italian restaurant down, it's on Magnolia Boulevard here in Burbank. Place called Tony Bellavista. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I swear it's run by the mafia. And I didn't know we had it here, but I'm sometimes like,
yeah,
I'm afraid that the waiters are packing. You know what I mean? I mean, it's one of those places. I mean, it's as authentic as it gets. Okay. So, we're in there, and one of the things on the menu is a little personal pizza. It's got to be about, I don't know, maybe about a foot in diameter, maybe a little bit less. It's a personal pizza. And I happened to get a pepperoni pizza that night. And then it came with like a little side dish of spaghetti with marinara sauce. And then there was garlic bread. It was phenomenal. I still remember the meal very distinctly tonight. Why? Because very specifically, we all sat around, we all had our little meals, and I think somebody else ordered what I did, same thing. But I had a bite of the spaghetti with the marinara sauce. It was really good. I'm like, I'm not going to waste all my bites on the spaghetti with marinara sauce. So then I went to the pizza. And I remember taking one bite, and it was just perfect. It was a perfect bite of the pizza with the little pepperoni on it. Oh, it was so good. There's no way you could better that bite. And I'm looking at the rest of the pizza, and I realized, there is no way I could better it. It's all going to be the same. That was it. That was my dinner. I pushed it away. No bread. No salad. Nothing. That was done.
Gee.
For that dinner, I had 2 bites of food. And the reason why I did it, I think more than anything, is just to do it. To be able to say I could do it. And then to be able to say I did it. Guess what? That's what I'm saying today. I did it. And I did it to be able to talk about it today. It was the greatest experience of my life. I think it was one of the best eating experiences I've ever had, at least that I can remember. The bites that I had were spectacular. Very clean, very sharp, because they were just what they were. They were those 2 bites. That was it. Nothing else to, dilute out the flavor or muddle the flavors. I didn't have extra bites of any one thing. Nope, just two clean, crisp flavors. One of the pizza, one of the spaghetti. That was it. It was a wonderful meal. Now, was I a little bit? What's that?
Did you get a lot of questions that said
people knew what I was doing? I mean, people knew I didn't care.
Oh.
But one way or another, I didn't care at this point, right?
Okay.
And yeah, I had another one where I was talking about. This was actually at a doctor's meeting, where I was discussing some drug. So it wasn't about me or the diet at the time, but of course the diet always came up. And I had, again, just to prove a point, I took a bite of the dessert, which was this great crisp apple pie. Took one bite and that was it. They're like, you can't do that. I'm like, watch me. I'm not going to have another bite of it. It was just to show the point that how good it would be and how much I remember it down the road, and I can still taste that bite. So it's all about adding value to the bites that you do eat. But here's my point. You can eat 5 bites if you want to. Anybody can. You just do it. Is it hard? Yeah. Was I hungry a little bit after the meal? Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. I suppose I must have been, but I don't remember it. All I remember are the flavors of the 2 items of food that I had. They were spectacular.
Okay.
I have no idea whether I was hungry afterward. I must have been, but it comes, it goes. That's not a big deal. Your hunger's never a big deal. Breaking a leg, that hurts. Hunger pain, that's no big deal. And it'll go away quick enough.
I will try that this week then.
Yeah, just
eat it fast. Get the 5 bites done. Do
the 5 bites because you can.
Okay.
You don't have to. No one's holding a gun to your head, but just do it for you. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. You don't need to convince anybody else of why you're doing why it works so well. It doesn't matter. Right. Everybody else runs their own show. We're just focused on you and your show. Oops. Hey, Corey. So I think you sneezed, and so it came back to you. So anyway, Shelly. So can you say something? Say hi, Shelly.
Hi. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Now it came back to you.
That would be very hard. I admire you for just sitting there and not eating anymore with all that food sitting in front of you.
There's just no point.
I know.
I guess I'm a very I guess you could say I'm a sort of an intellectual type of person, but our minds are really powerful. Let's use them. The great thing about being a human being is that we have tremendous intelligence, unlike lab animals. If I put extra food in front of a lab rat, it's going to eat the whole food. It'll eat all of it. If I put more food for our cat, our big cat, it's going to finish it because it doesn't understand that the extra food is harmful to the animal.
Right.
However, obviously we regulate the animal's food because we do look out for it. But we as humans have the ability to understand that our health is much more important than eating an extra bite at this particular point in time. You're going to have plenty of opportunities in your future to eat that same exact thing again. You don't need it now. By the way, that pizza that I had that was so spectacular, I've been back there and I've eaten it since, and it's still spectacular. And it's just like anything else that I ever have in my life. I know I'm going to have an opportunity to eat that again. There's just no point in finishing any one thing at any particular sitting. What's the point? None. Not when you're sacrificing your health for it. Not when you're delaying the time to get perfect in terms of how you look and how you feel, your activity level. Do you know how much energy you're going to have when you're at the weight that I have in my mind for you? It's unbelievable. You're going to want to get out there and start jogging just for the fun of it. Just because it's so easy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what are you waiting for?
Right. Yeah, I see a lot of that now, but I know it can be a lot more.
You have no clue how good it's going to get. You hardly tasted the tip of the I don't know, some sort of cream pie.
I'm at the bottom of the mountain working my way up.
You have no idea how good it gets. It gets spectacular. So all I can say is trust me on this for now, and then be perfect when you eat. Why not? I mean, what reason do you have not to be perfect? Because you're afraid of being a little bit hungry? Oh, come on, we've all been hungry. We all know what that feels like, and we also all know that it goes away. And if we do it perfectly, if we literally set our hunger stat to 5 exact bites, in general, the hunger goes away after the 3rd day. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit hungry before you eat.
I'm never hungry anymore. I don't eat.
Well, if you're never hungry anymore, then why do you eat?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's my point. Look, there's going to be some incredible opportunities to have some amazing food this holiday season.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you're going to go to a mall, and maybe you're going to do some Christmas shopping at a mall, and someone's going to have a little kiosk, and maybe they're going to sell these unbelievable peppermint brownies. I don't know, but they might just pop out of a little microwave, and maybe they're really warm, and the chocolate's still, dripping down the side of one, and you got to have one. And guess what? Wouldn't it be neat to have one of those things completely guilt-free, not even thinking twice about this diet, being super, super thin, knowing that people are watching you eat this brownie and scratching their head and saying, how in the world did she get to be the lucky one who has an unbelievably perfect metabolism that affords her the ability to eat stuff like that and remain as skinny as she is? I mean, how neat would that be? And doesn't that vision, isn't that worth not eating today?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Why in the world would you have bite number 6? It just doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to try that. 5 quick bites and get it done. Well, now, do you eat it?
Don't spend too much time focusing on food right now. It's all about just doing it, getting it done, getting in the trash, and the realization will hit you a few minutes later that, oh my gosh, I just had my dinner. But yes, you did. And once the food is already in the trash, it's hard to go back and pull it out and eat it.
Right.
It's like, oh my gosh, I actually made that commitment. Congratulations. Now all we need to do is back it up with another perfect commitment at your next meal. And then after we back these up, after a few more days, you're there. You're on the speedy weight loss train, and you're going to be done before you know it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're doing good, though. I'm excited. You guys are going to do good. Let's do this. So who else do we have here? Jackie's here. Jackie, you're doing good. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And I am doing well. I'm a little stopped up. So when I got on the scale this morning, it had only been a pound from the weekend, but I also cheated on Saturday. But I've just given away so many bags of clothes.
Love it. I was reading your post on that. You sound like you're getting really excited. I think it's neat. But here it sort of goes back to like Shelly. I don't want you to get too comfortable with your success to this point. I don't want you to relax too much. I really, really now more than ever want to push hard before the brunt of the holiday season hits us.
I'm like totally isolated myself. I just don't. I'm just sitting in my apartment all by myself. I don't see people just so I can eat my Snickers.
Perfect.
I do have a challenge though. Starting November 3rd, I have a house guest, and then I'm going to New York. So I kind of feel like whatever I don't, and somebody's throwing a dinner in unfortunately cooking the dinner in my honor Thursday night. So it's
perfect.
It's going to be a little hard.
You know what? On that dinner in particular is the one where you need to be the most perfect. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's for your birthday. I don't care if it's for, your, 100th birthday. I don't care. Why not be perfect on this one day and make it the most perfect day in the world?
Right.
Why not? You're not insulting anybody. They understand what you're doing. They can certainly see you and look at you and understand that you are on a mission.
Well, they do feel insulted, but that's okay.
Who cares? I guess my attitude is this. Who cares? That doesn't even faze me. So when I was losing weight, I mean, there were a couple times when I would go out to parties or my parents would have a party, whatever. I didn't care. I don't care if the meal that goes back to the kitchen looks no different than the meal that came to my plate because you can't see the 5 bites that are missing. It doesn't faze me. It just doesn't bother me at all. Much, much, much more important was just getting the weight off, doing this for me, right? No one's going to be counting your bites at this party.
Yeah, they will, but you're right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Or it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Don't let it faze you. Who cares?
But the main thing is, I just want to do this as perfectly as I can till October 31st or November 1st, and just I'm kind
perfect. So here's the thing also about like parties like this that are done in your honor.
Yeah.
even more, it's even a bigger challenge. And for me, surmounting challenges like this prove to you that you can do anything. So,
Yeah.
when the temptations seem the greatest, that's when success is the best success of all. If
Right.
you can be
Right.
perfect with 5 bites when you're at a big party and there's a lot of people there, especially if they're making comments about, how little you're eating or how healthy it is, if at that point in time you can still be perfect and eat just 5 bites, all the more power to you. You're going to have extraordinary success, not only in this diet, but in all challenges in your life. You're going to have tremendous success with everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I just say, look forward to this dinner that's being thrown in your honor, to just demonstrate to everybody there that you're not going to deviate from the diet one iota, not one. And everyone can try and challenge you and tempt you with a different bite of this or a different bite of this, but you're just not going to do it. And I would actually look forward to that opportunity to take your stand and show everybody how resolute you are in your decision to do something that's extraordinary and exceptional.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'll try.
Just do it. Come on, you can do it. And,
Yeah.
and you know what? There'll be another birthday party down the road where you don't have to do this again, just this one time. But
Right.
one time, really make a statement. That's my attitude.
I'm
Make
more
it a
concerned about,
really remarkable, memorable birthday party.
I'm more concerned about November and having like no control. That's
Why?
because that will be meals with people every
So
day.
what? Here again, it's the same. It's the same story. It's a couple of things. Number one, once you get on the weight loss track and you learn how to truly lose weight, the hunger goes. So much of our eating is driven by hunger. Whether you acknowledge it or whether you don't acknowledge it, whether you chalk it up to stress or whatever, the reality is we eat because we get hungry. But once the hunger goes, maintaining the weight loss is not only easy, it's actually fun. It's fun to flaunt it to everybody else who struggles with their weight. With the extra weight that we do carry on our body, though, really does keep us hungry. It
Right.
raises sort of our baseline hunger level. So with extra weight, we're always either consciously or subconsciously searching out more food. But once we get rid of that extra weight, we literally lose our hunger, period. Now, you're going to get hungry before each meal, but then because your hunger stat is set to a small volume, it takes very little food to fill you up. So it's a win-win-win, and it's easy to maintain the weight loss once we're there. It's just getting there sometimes is hard. But this is why I want you to eat fast and just get the food in the trash.
Right.
It's why I want you to just hurry up and get this thing done. Look, couple meals a day, taste a couple things. If you got to try some new food, some new flavor, fine. Then incorporate it in one of your 5 bites. But then it's done. Get it in the trash. Let's get on. Let's get busy losing the rest of this weight, and then start living that exceptional life that all of you are capable of living.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, thank
Let
you.
me just see. I see a couple other people here. There's Christine here. Welcome. I think you're new to our group, which is great. Welcome. Yeah, I love it. And then we have Violet, right? You go by Violet?
Yes.
Welcome. I'm delighted to have both of you guys here. Do you guys have any questions? Because I guess we're going to be knocked off here pretty soon. Hello?
Yeah, I have some questions.
Great. Let's do it.
And I was thinking, and you, to some degree, kind of already covered this, but what I thought of last night was, does fasting for a 24 or 36-hour period benefit us? And
for sure. Number one, for sure. If you were to do a fasting, for sure. The hard part, here's the thing. If you break a fast, like after 3 days, how do you break it? And what most of us do is say, oh my gosh, we just went a full day or 2 days without eating a thing. They'll sit down in front of a big meal because they deserve it, they've earned it, and they'll eat a lot of food. 2 things. Number one, that big meal is not very satisfying. It actually feels uncomfortable because it's just way too much food for your body. It's like, but then because you put in that big meal, your next meal, however many hours later, you do need that large volume to feel satisfied. It's just the problem is when we break a fast, most of us do not know how to break it. We instantly start off with too much food, and already we get right back to where we were before we ever started the fast to begin with. But in general, from a physiologic standpoint or from a scientific standpoint, do you need, or does it do any damage to fast? No, it's totally fine to do. And yes, you do lose weight faster. It's just hard. It's hard because we eat out of habit so much of the time, and we eat out of routine, and our routine is typically 2 or 3 meals a day. So it's hard to forgo a meal completely, but the 5 bites does give you the ability to participate in eating, during each of those time segments, number one. And then number two, by always keeping the volume the same, you never break any fast. So you see that. But if you were to fast completely and then say eat 5 bites for your ensuing meal, fine, that'd be great. I mean, you would gain the benefit of having not eaten for 2 straight days.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question.
No, that answered it perfectly. Because I was thinking of possibly going 1 day without, and then just starting back with 5 bites.
You totally can. I think it would be great. It'd be a great way to kick off. It's hard though. Have you ever fasted?
I have.
It's hard. I think it's hard. I mean, I've done it. I think I did it for a day.
Mm-hmm.
I went a full, complete day without eating a thing. I had water. That was it. The next day, for breakfast, I decided to celebrate I went out into a big brunch place. That food was so unsatisfying. It should have been spectacular. It just wasn't. It just wasn't that good. So, I mean, just be aware of these things. And again, I mean, it's just being aware and understanding that we don't need the food. There's no point in it. And because, just because we've gone a day or 2 or 3 or more without eating, there's no reason why we should want to eat more when we break the fast. No, just have a couple bites if you must. That's it. I don't know. Oh, so you're doing good. But anyway, welcome. And I don't think you even have all that much weight to lose, if I recall correctly, right?
No, not too much.
This should be fun. Here's the thing. I want to go fast and hard and get it done. If you have, say, 20 pounds to lose, or if you have 200 pounds to lose, the way that you get there is exactly the same. It's 5 bites twice a day. The difference between you and the person who has 200 pounds to lose is that you're going to get there faster. That's all. But I still want you to be just as hardcore, just as exact in the way that you eat. Literally, just stick to the program perfectly, and you'll see that really it's a really relatively easy program once you get into it. Once you get past that 3rd day, 5 bites is almost natural, and it's fun and it's exciting, and it completely fills you up, and you're eating what you want, and you'll suddenly realize how so many people on the site have. Why you'll suddenly say to yourself, why isn't everybody doing this? This really is the easiest diet out there. So anyway, I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything like that. But no, I think you're going to do great. Just here's my thing. Even though you don't have that much weight to lose, be perfect. Okay. And if you want to start off with the fast, all the more power to you. It'll really get you going on the right foot for sure. Yay.
Yeah. I thought I'd possibly try it this weekend.
Yeah, let's do it. The weekends are always tough for most people because that's sort of our relaxing time where, there are always other events and parties and people and whatnot. Just stay strong throughout the weekend. That's it. Violet, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good. It sounds like you're back on track, right?
I am. I'm back on track.
So you've heard of everything going on. Do you have any questions?
No, I've been watching all the chats. I've been listening to you. It's just doing it.
Great. Well, good. I'm thrilled. Well, thanks everyone for coming down. We're about ready to get cut off here, but thanks everyone so much for coming. I'm thrilled that we had this chance to do it. And then let's just stay in touch throughout the week on the site, and let's do this thing. I mean, I love seeing the ticker go up, and I know we're at, what is it, 66,740 pounds lost. Let's keep it going. Everybody, you're doing great. So together as a group, we can put some big numbers up on the board. All right, guys?
Okay.
You're doing good. I love it. I think everyone's just doing great. I'm so excited. I want to hear some good stories next week.
Thanks.
Okay. We'll see you then.
Okay.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.